Okay. Good morning. It is morning here in Nigeria, and revolutionary greetings to all African descent, um, both in Africa and those in the diaspora. Today, it's a remarkable day for me because beyond the fact that yesterday was my birthday, I'm also um, unpleased with the situation of things going on in my country. My name is Sodeke Dimeji. I am the global Pan African, I am the international education envoy for Global Pan African Network. And very soon, I'm so ready to pick up another role, an important role for the United States of Africa, which will be announced very soon. But today, we would be discussing with ourselves because a wind of change is sweeping across Africa gradually. And as we can see, Nigeria being my country, we are experiencing a lot. You would have seen in news; it is everywhere. We have these issues related with police brutality. We have issues related with mismanagement of public funds, siphoning of our funds, and cutting away and looting our nation's resources, which doesn't seem to be peculiar to one nation in Africa alone. It seems to be a general problem of all African countries and African leaders. But we need this wind of change, and that is what these organizations stand for. That is what we've been doing. And today I'll be speaking on my, would I say, it is not coincidentally, I was mused to, I was mused to have been opportune to write a novel titled The Gods of My Parents. And we will be discussing how this book, published in America, it was published in 2018, has actually foresee details of things written in this novel as is a reflection of what we see in Nigeria today, and also it is some templates of what we should expect across African politics and across. Without wasting much of our time, I want us to talk about some themes that I treated in this novel. If you are just joining this, my name is Sodeke Dimeji. I am the international education envoy for Global Pan Africanism Network, and this is a novel I've written, which is a reflection of what is happening in Nigeria today. You can see everywhere we talk about NSAS, police brutality. Everyone is now clamoring for a youth revolution. We're clamoring for change, indeed. And this is an aspect at which we must take serious. So, what is the first thing that has eaten deep into the African system and is reflected in this novel? It is clash of white supremacy and black consciousness. I repeat that again. Clash of white supremacy and black consciousness. This clash of white supremacy and black consciousness is it's a war that is going on. It's an intellectual revolution. It is something that is okay. Someone is watching from West Papua. Revolutionary greeting to you, Engin Nagin. So let me continue. You can drop your comments. I'll reply, and as we proceed. Clash of white supremacy and black consciousness is something that has eaten deep into an average black right now. There is this saying that in recent time, an average black person is already exposed to what is called white supremacy by the age of 7. A white child is already exposed to the concepts of white supremacy by the age of 7. This means that there is a psyche that a black person is raised with in recent time that we need to also address intellectually, and this is posing as a threat. It's posing more as a problem in our making, in who we are. And so this book treated that in-depthly. Like I used from the title, you said the gods of my parents. What do you mean by the gods of my parents? There's an identity crisis already. We came from a certain religion, and then we were exposed due to the slavery, slave experience that we had. We were exposed to foreign religion as well, and all these things have played pivotal role in the making of an average black person, either living in Africa or in the diaspora. Now we have a clash of white supremacy and black consciousness. One is at the benefiting end, while the other one is at the losing end. And I think there's no gainsaying the fact that we all know the one who is at the beneficial end, and we know the one who is at the losing end here in this battle. So we need to infuse purposefully in our in our movements, in our education, in everything we do, black consciousness. We need to find a way to raise it. We can't just omit white supremacy without replacing it with something. It leaves it vacuum, and every day the media propels white supremacy. We see it in movie, we see it in book, we see it in fashion, we see it in everything. Almost everything projects white supremacy. So this is a conscious battle that is going on, that is a clash of white supremacy and black consciousness. All is in this book. So we have a clash of like an identity crisis. So we move to another thing we need to treat. We have political radicalism. There is also a consciousness going on right now where we are frowning against African capitalism. African capitalism, we can see even in Trump debate soon enough that the governments of the world seems to pitch tent more to capitalism. So what does capitalism have to say? In brief, capitalism means you have to favor the rich to get richer. It creates a yawning gap in the society between the rich and the poor. So right now, Hillary Clinton came during our debate with Donald Trump. Then she said she wants to come from the middle up, build the middle up. Her ideology is saying that she knows that the vast majority of people, masses, falls within the middle class. This middle class are those people that we have as civil servants, they have the merchants. We have this because naturally, no one wants poverty. You understand? Nobody wants poverty, and for that reason, everybody wants to play safe. So naturally, it's just a natural man instinct to actually wants to survive. So men will find themselves in the middle class. So she's positing just like this guy Fidel Castro from Cuba. Fidel Castro projected socialism. We have great people who have looked into this and said capitalism is evil. And what they're saying in core essence is this. All these things is reflecting in this book. We can see that capitalism has controlled almost every human psyche, and it's more like a modern slavery. So this book projects political radicalism tended towards technocratic African governance. We can see African Union, we can see templates of our African leaders, how leadership roles means a lucrative business to them. We can all see that leadership is not a place of responsibility, more like that in Africa, which in the real sense, leadership is a place of responsibility. Now, it is more like the people patronize leadership here, being a lucrative venture, a fast way for you to get rich, and that is this. So in this novel, we treated that. I wrote about this, and it's more like a prophecy of what is happening right now. So I moved towards another thing called African culture and belief system. There's no gainsaying the fact that our African culture, we are losing African culture daily. And our culture is faced with a common threat of going into extinction. So because of this, we need to prioritize our African culture more and religion. Now, a religious person, religion means that you respect people for what they believe in. You'll be surprised these days how Africans have aligned with foreign religions so that they considered what actually has been their own birth religion as paganism, as barbaric. That is you trying to rub off on yourself as you not looking yourself in the right mirror perspective of development, of you evolving, of you permitting yourself to have said that yes, there are things that you need to respect people for, which is religion is playing a very important role in it. So we talked, which I did. That's why I use the word God. A lot of people ask me this question: that why will I write the gods in capital letter? Why not small letter G? And so from the start, I raised the consciousness. I raised the consciousness in an average African mind that why should gods should be written in small letter? Who made that rule? One made that to be an inferior god to another god. So which god is meant to be written in capital letter. Can you see? It is as deep as that. And those things cannot be shied away from, because the little crumbs of white supremacy need to be eradicated as soon as possible. We cannot allow such to grow and overlook things that would create problem for us in later future. There is a saying in this book, and I quote, when you have an intelligent enemy, you don't choose to be stupid. You can't choose to be stupid. So I moved away from that thing. Then I went properly into national legacy. National legacy talks about patriotism, talks about you ensuring the continuity, about the survival of your people, African people, and creating a better system for them in order to thrive economically as a people and to flourish as a nation. We can see even the African Union and other African countries right now play more of inferiority in terms of bargaining. We have this debt psyche. We must borrow, which we cannot. Our African leaders do not prioritize the fact that they want to build their land, invest in their land, invest in their people. So they will rather loot, steal from their own people, and develop foreign nations, which is wrong in every way. Is wrong. So we move from national legacy to treating Black consciousness. I move from there to treating Black consciousness properly in music, in fashion, education, and history. Let me treat music as first. How do you portray musical videos? How do you see musical videos that look more like a mental oppression visual display? It must always be luxury, things that are not obtainable in our society are far-fetched. We don't see that anymore. All we just see is we are facing a culture of where we talk about bad beaches, we talk about smoking, we talk about luxurious life. That majority of people right now would go into crime. Try as much as possible to live such a life, because the media plays a powerful role in controlling your mind, in altering reality itself. We talk about fashion, Black consciousness in fashion. I think that is obtainable enough. An average African can testify to the fact that these are obtainable issues that that are seen in society these days. Education. How do you tell us that Mongo Park discovered a river where our forefathers has been fishing, a river where has been existing even before Mongo Park, and we're still treating such educational material in schools today. So there's no Black consciousness even in our educational system. So what is wrong with us? Why can't we just go back and readdress all this system that has been handed over to us by white supremacists, white settlers? It's more like we still continue with their legacy, and we are feeding our children poisons, and we want them to grow up to be Pan-Africanists. So education is all wrong. The system of education, the content itself, curriculum, is not even engineered towards having a Black consciousness, raising Black pride in kids. So in our history again, in Nigeria, I can't speak for other countries. In Nigeria right now, as I speak to you, the government purposefully has omitted history to be taught in secondary schools. Who does that? Why? How? For what reason? Why would you deny people of their past? Why would you deny kids and children of their past? So why do you really think our government should deem it fit to say, okay, this part of this aspect of education is not enough, is not good enough, we just have to censor it? Nobody does that. It is not done anywhere. Okay, Wendell Bradley, I can see your comment. You said since 1970, you said I've looked deeply into Isheshe. Good. Please, African socialism is different from what Russia and China elsewhere have been represented. Their models were of Africa. Okay. God is Eurocentric concept, not African. Good. So you can see we are raising a lot of consciousness, a lot of questions, and you can't deny people of raising questions. We have rights to do that. So, and it has to reflect. You want Africa to develop, but we are overlooking some important aspect of our system, and we just want people to come from it. We want conscious people to produce conscious people. Can you see the result of what we have in our generation? The generation of the bad bitches, smokers. I'm not against smoking, please get me right. But I'm just against the fact that we are doing the same thing and we expect different results. So I'm not really I'm not really indicting anyone and saying, oh, this is the reason for. I'm just trying to attack that system that has been in place that is not really looking like a serious system of government that really wants change. So the question we should be asking right now is that, do our African leaders really want change, or because their position in this oppression and suppression is convenient, so they will try as much as possible to maintain it? Salif Johnson, the ex-president of Liberia, said that Africa is not poor. Africa is just mismanaged. So I moved from that. I moved to another thing, which is identity crisis. We can see we have Christianity, Islam, indigenous religion, and we have people right now who don't even want to. They're Africans, but they don't want to align with Africa. You hear things like, "Oh, I'm in my mind, I am a white. I might just appear like a black." And all these are made identity crisis. And what are those root problems that have caused, that has led to this identity crisis? Because there is a way you project national consciousness. It worked for the Japanese miracle. When you read Japanese miracle and you see how they have prioritized their educational system, engineered towards nation's development, it worked. It worked in China when the government sat down and said, okay, we are going to engineer our education, engineer the mind of the people towards creating and improving the land. It worked. So what are our leaders doing? They just need to readdress the system that has been in place. So I moved from identity crisis, then I moved into mediated reality. Truth in coverage of stories, news stories right now, which points towards junk and yellow journalism. We can see fake news everywhere. One single story, just like Chimamanda Adichie, an author from Nigeria, said, the media will rather want to portray a single story of Africa right now, Africa as a place of poverty. We need to correct that right now. You know why? You know why they do that? In order to still foster and propel white supremacy. That is why they do that. So we need to come from that position and say, no, 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 no. Donation, hunger, no, all these things we can, just like Thomas Sankara proceeded also, tried for Burkina Faso to use his own people to improve the land itself. So all these things are in this novel. I weaved it intellectually in order to, bring all these things out. Then I moved from mediated reality. I moved into conflict with tradition. We have custom and tradition in opposition with modernization and religion. These are things that are obtainable in the society today. You hear a Christian telling you and looking at his own grandfather with disdain. Why? Because you won't respect such a man to choose his own religion for himself. All you just need to do is to try as much as possible to say you want to save his soul, and he has a choice. So you have to see him as a person who is damned. We see people disrespecting other people's religion and, trying to insult them, and these days we see religious, and it has led to Boko Haram in Nigeria. That's terrorism. So all these things that we think that are things that, oh, they are just minor, oh, no, they are serious, and those are the root problem. My people will say, when you solve a problem like a grass, you have to approach. When you cut the grass on the surface and you think you solve such problem, the grass will grow back again. But when you uproot, so this is what we are delving into, the root problem, the causes why Africans are like this these days. The causes why Africans are like this these days. So, conflict with tradition is obtainable these days, and everybody just feel like, oh, African tradition is archaic, it's barbaric. No, nobody does that. Nobody does that. And that leads us to another thing which we talk about, detachment of Africanness. I don't know what is wrong with most African people these days. Probably they prioritize modernizations to be a way of saying they want to be detached from Africanness. I'm going live right now. I can see everybody, right now that you've been sending comments. I will treat those comments. But what I'm trying to say when it comes to detachment of Africanness is the fact that some people believe that for some reasons, European culture is superior. It's already accepted. That's a defeated mind already. Some people have already been defeated in their mind to such an extent that they don't even want to associate with their source anymore. So they believe that, okay, the only thing we can do right now is to just align with foreign being foreign ideologies, religion, and and all these things are the detriment of our future, are detriment of the movement of Pan-Africanism. It is at the detriment of being an African. And we can see it in our leaders right now. That's why they are prepared. That's why they can stand to their feet and fight for their people's right. So it must be any deal that come, you sign. Any deal that come, you sign. You don't even check. There's no transfer of technology. There's no bargain where your people benefit from. It's just detachment from Africanness. So you see them, they want to marry a white person. They want to produce babies, and they believe raising a kid over there, maybe in European countries, is securing the future of their children, which is a very conquered mentality, because those Europeans that you are with, they build their land. As a matter of fact, they exploited us to build their land. So we need to come back to our senses. We need to come back to our reality and say that no, you can't fight yourself and win outside. You have to accept your Africanness at first, project it unapologetically, and this is what education and sensitization and such a platform like this is for. Do you understand? And all these things are the things that I have written, weaved in this story. I have 3 more to go. So I used ethnic coexistence. You see, in Nigeria, I love Nigeria for something. Nigeria is vast and heterogeneous society, such that we have above 400 ethnic groups in Nigeria. So by virtue of that, we have ethnic coexistence here. So there is a balance and synthesis in this novel. I use Bayo and Bosun. They are from the Yoruba tribe. Nkechi, that's Bayo's girlfriend. She's from the Igbo tribe. I have Musa. Musa is Bayo's friend in the university. He's an Hausa, and the Fulanis also. So we by virtue of being in Nigeria, there is ethnic coexistence, and that is what Africanness mean. I wrote it in this book. There's the chapter 5, which is my dream, which says I look forward to a time when someone that was raised in Nigeria will marry a Rwanda and settle down in Tanzania. Someone who is from South Africa will fall in love with someone who is from Kenya, and they'll settle down in Congo. We don't even have an African Union. It's us. We don't have an African Union passport. You could imagine. So me trying to go see my brother, the president in Kenya right now, trying to settle down, seems to like I'm going far. I'm going to an European country, which is a conquered mentality. So what is the African Union doing? What is so wrong in an African Union passport? Why can't they see the prospect? Even the AFTA that was enacted is not being respected still. So what is wrong with our psyche? Can you see? It is an issue of the mindset. So I moved to 2, which is the two last themes that was treated in this novel. I talked about self-realization amidst nationalism. So after all this nationalism awareness, you have to realize yourself. What role are you to play? With all humility, you are playing a role right now. United States of Africa is playing a role. I am playing a role being an international education envoy for my African continent and my African people. What role are you playing? Self-realization. What part do you want to play in this whole thing? You have to pick up the ball and play. So self-realization, this novel is going to lead you to self-realization of the African people, and we talk about Pan-Africanism ideology. So this novel is written in that theme, in that line, which is the what we call it thematic preoccupation of the Pan-Africanism, the Pan-African theory, the Pan-Africanism ideology is embedded in this story. So before I submit before I end the broadcast, I would like to respond to some comments, and I will read an extract from this book, the one that you are going to like. I will read from it, then I'll just end it. So from Augusto in Ghana, you said, okay, true, we are starting with something, but is it to say we need to be furnished always with new and positive mentality, be blessed? Yes, I think we do. We are coming from an experience that is peculiar, and we need to address that peculiarity from our own angle. It is we are involved in a matter that we have the best solution how we can get out of this. So it's like the feeding of white supremacy on us has gone on for years and years and years. We need to be constantly reminded, aggressively fed with black consciousness, and encourage. We need to feed the media. We need to oppose feeding the white supremacy. You see, Will Smith said something that was last year. He said racism is now being filmed. So what he's trying to say intellectually, that is Hollywood, in movies, they foster racism, they support. So I'm not saying that, I'm quoting his word. What is trying to say, psychology. So what means are these people using? Is an intellectual revolution. It's an intellectual move that they are using. When they use their means and they say, okay, we want to film this, and you see, all these things are very peculiar for us to be aware of, and we need to move smartly. When you have an intelligent enemy, you don't choose to be stupid. You can't afford to be stupid. You need to accept that you have an intelligent enemy and to beat him, just like Niccolo Machiavelli proceeded. He said that it is the devil's pleasure to deceive the deceiver. But in this regard, these people are coming madly, smiling to us and telling us, "Oh, we are your friend." But we don't see anything friendly in Africa with dealing with them so far. I'm not using them. I'm not a racist. I have white friends. I even have a family, cousins that are white. So I'm not a racist. But I'm being real right now, being an unapologetic Pan-Africanist. So we need to do better for ourselves. Doing better for yourself, doing the best for ourselves is trying to readdress this structure that has been in place that is fostering this intimidation, this inferiority complex that we see daily amidst our brothers and sisters. So like I said, finally, let me read an extract from this book that you would love. And that is going to end to my submission. So I am going to read from the last chapter of this book, and page 105 from this novel, The Ghost of My Parents, written by me, Sodeke Dimeji. I'm the International Education Envoy for Global Pan African Network. United States of Africa, I will be so honored to be saddled with responsibilities too very soon. So I read from this, and please follow me. The Black consciousness needs to sweep through all aspects. It should cut across from movies to music, fashion, education, history, literature, medicine, religion, among others. This is a total eradication of mental colonization, which ends the reign of white supremacy. It suggests that Africa should learn from the leading powers now and join in the world power game. We can't continue to play second fiddle to the rest of the world, but implant Black pride, self-realization, and global imprint of our heritage to the world. We can't afford to allow clueless leaders to be in the helms of affairs, confused elders, sentimental ones, myopic ones, and the agents of oppression to be our leaders. We need a Black Moses who can lead our people to the promised land. The last paragraph I'm going to read, it says, this is the time to harness resources and start building the lives of the younger ones. It is a time to say no to all forms of oppressions, killings, bombings, lootings, and cutting away with our resources. A time to revive our spirit back in the lost world. The CIA, which is the conglomerate of intelligent Africans. I use the CIA here as an adaptation, conglomerates of intelligent Africans, believe that the African countries can learn from China's comeback and start playing it big in this world. Whatever the propaganda puts out against us, we have a global nature, which is Black people always beat the odds. Please, if you don't take anything from this lesson, take this. Black people always beat the odds. We survived and endured the great stress of slavery, and now we must have Black pride all over. We should make Africa home enough even for our lost brothers and sisters in the struggle. This is going to be the greatest exodus ever in history, as the ancestral call will hold them strong and will return home. If Black means darkness and evil to some, we don't need to argue about their views. We but we need to put it out that it is our own favorite color. What matters most is the way you decide to say things. We have been communal in our lifestyles before things fell apart. I really want to appreciate you. I understand that we are facing a trying time right now, and my heart goes to all those that have lost their soul trying to make Nigeria a better place. Those who lost their souls, loved ones in this recent genocide, Lekki genocide, my heart is with you, and the youth that have decided to stand up against oppression. Together, we will triumph. Thank you for your time.